Together we'll conquer, no limits apply. Eclipse rising, shining so bright. With delusion leading, we'll conquer the night. Together we stand, in battles we fight. In Epoch, our future is right.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am back and I am Delusions. So we are blessed enough to be able to go through for a second round at redemption against Atlans 7, starting off with our new arena season. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to see a lot of the same faces. That means that you're going to be able to root for Porter Bass, going in for a second first place win. Or you could see me rise back to the top, as you know I'm going to be fighting for. So we're going to go ahead and increase our attempts here. Um, Again, for those of you that tuned in to my last arena video, you've noticed that things didn't go so well. Well, I have kind of gone back and corrected my mistakes, and hopefully we'll be able to turn around and make something happen for you guys today and put our names back up there at the top. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Going up against Mr. Sonny K, who is also a E&E or a strength DK. So let's see how we fare up against him. Go ahead and get ready. Charge in. Well, didn't even get to use a skill. Um, but yeah, we've got a whole lot of new content coming into play. We've got Corpse that's opening. I'm learning. You're learning. We're all trying to figure out exactly how all of this is going to work. Um, but again, it's going to be one of those things that is not going to be figured out in a day. So it's going to be taking a little bit of time here and there as we step into our match here with Knight, who is that super huge E&E DL. So we're going to go ahead and try to get an early stun on this guy. We were able to make that happen. We're going to go ahead and get our skills flowing and hopefully be able to bring out a win on this. Again, he has been able to make a lot of progressions in his account as well as mine. So there is always going to be room for improvement. ENEDL has been just such a beautiful class overall. That comes with a lot of perks, a lot of healing. As you can see, that fight went on quite some time. But unfortunately, our stuns weren't up at the time, so we're having to go through and try to make something out of nothing, if you will. But chances are he's going to come back through. Oh, well, looks like we were able to seal the victory on that one, bumping us up to the number 19 spot. Now, pushing a little bit further in, coming up against Pst, I guess that's how you say his name, 65 mil, E&E Elf, which is, for those of you that have been staying tuned, is my next stop in the Road to Mastery series, to be able to see what this class is going to be able to provide for us, and hopefully be able to gain us a little bit of ground in the corpse segment of everything. Now, everybody knows that E&E elves or elves in general, they can be a nuisance in PvP. So being able to anticipate their immortality really does go a long way. If you can avoid that, chances are you're able to come through and be able to put a stop to them before it gets too painful for yourself. That being said, going to continue to go through here, stepping into the ring with Porter Bass once again. Is this going to be our shot at redemption? I hope so. But let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. Got our stun first that time. Weren't able to get any of our reflection skills going. So it does put us in a very tough spot. But again, we're going to try to create a little bit of distance, get out of that Sword of Brilliance, and go ahead and try to lock him back in and try to pull through for that win. For those of you that don't know, once you drop that Sword of Brilliance and you are locked down inside, that just spells bad news bears for you all the way around. Again, we've got a full season of this, so I I hope that everybody sticks in. Again, as you can see, I'm taking just an absorbent amount of damage while staying in that Sword of Brilliance. I was able to get mine down and kind of correct a little bit of it, but the skill damage that is being applied to you while all of that happens is so hard to avoid. Um, but continuing on, diving straight back in against Pit's Win. So Pit's Win, the E&E Dark Wizard, he has a pretty solid build. Then again, it's really hard to compete when you've got such a level gap on some of these guys. With being close to 100 levels difference, it does make it very challenging to be able to compete because you've got a superior um, property and level value going on there, not to mention the CP or the investment, or just the inability to be able to perform some of the things that you normally would if it would have been a uh, matched case. Now, stepping up into another E&E Dark Lord. This is Davidson Sam. He is a member of my guild, and one that I'm pretty proud to call a friend here. But he has perfected this build, um, and I have no doubt that if he was at my ranking, at my investment, and match me eye for eye, it would be a very, very hard struggle to get him down. Just like Knight. Knight has got just a lot of things going for him, and you can see the difference. Um, and survivability of the two of them. And it's just one of those things that, as you are progressing through the game and being able to have to face all of these different opponents, there is no real skill-based matchmaking. And that has been one of the things that I would have loved to have been able to see because I think that it would make for a crazy, crazy interesting um, playthrough as far as the whole arena scale system goes. Just because, again, you've got all of these much higher CP, higher investment, pushing VIP 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Um, all of these guys that are super, super tanky provide an absorbent amount of damage. And, I personally would like to see how I would fare against a lot of them. And in a sense, I've gotten a taste of some of the smaller ones, but there's a lot of the other ones that I would like to have some rematches with, or at least be able to step in the ring with at some point. Which brings us to MJH. Now, MJH, um, has been a bit of a nuisance. I mean, he's a super great guy, but man, his class can be super super tough to deal with. And it's all about being able to kind of prioritize things, get yourself in a placement that you're able to actually make a change. Um, because it's not always easy when you're stepping in and fighting some of these super, super well built classes, um, but making sure that you're able to get out of some of these, harmful effects like you saw that I didn't make a lot of movements while I was in that Sword of Brilliance, really, really caused a lot of issues for me, which is going to continue on as we speak going into what we are going to be our first loss again, when you're fighting some of these bots that, you're stepping up in the regular arena season, it's very, very hard to gain some massive wins above them just because of the skill priority that is used by those bots. It is at a much rapid pace than they're designed to be able to just do a lot, and I mean a lot of burst damage. Um, Now we've got our first taste of our strength, Dark Lord, or not Dark Lord, but Dark Knight, being Laura Fione. Now Laura's got a big build going for him that he has been perfecting and working on tirelessly day in and day out. But it is one of those things that, it's where do you draw the line? How do you stay competitive? At what level of investment do you need to be at to make Strength Dark Knight a really, really great class? And it's really hard to say. It's all personal preference in the end. So what may work for you may not work for others. And I think that Laura's account was setting at roughly VIP 7 the last time that I looked at it. But yeah, this is going to be our last match here, going up against Hensley which is another E&E elf. Again, different level scales, different progression scales on there. Wasn't able to take that first slot. Be curious to see. Looks like actually Porter was a smart one in this situation. I came in late from messing around with YouTube videos and then jumping into Discord to handle some of my moderator stuff. Um, so I wasn't able to get that early jump, but I'm hoping that towards the end of the day, we can kind of balance the scales a little bit, put me up there on par with Porter. Doesn't look like he has lost a match yet, which is fantastic. I love to see that. So he was able to pull out that win on MJH. So kudos to him again. I'm looking forward to another crazy competitive season that we experienced last season. But with that, we've got a lot of stuff coming. We've got um, the release of the compendium that is going to be coming out in probably less than a week, at max a week. So really pushing hard and devoting a lot of time and attention into getting that done for you guys. It's going to be something that you're not going to want to miss. It's going to cover pretty much everything that you'll experience in the game. Even has build guides for every single class. So hopefully you can take something away from it when I release it. And if you've got questions or concerns, or if you feel that there is something that you would like me to add or cover in later videos, be more than happy to hear you out. Reach out to me in Discord. Leave me a comment in the comments section. And let me help you guys. I like to pride myself in being the voice of the people. So if there's something that you're trying to communicate to a higher level, let me know. I can put it in my moderator reports so that at least somebody above me is putting eyes on it. And with that being said, I appreciate all of you for tuning in and giving me your time and attention for a little bit. But with that being said, I am Delusions and I am out. Take care, guys.
So raise your sword high, let's claim our fame. With every boss fallen, we'll carve our name.